And I presented some of the overview findings that we're seeing in terms of trends. And we're seeing that countries typically divide out into two kinds of countries. There are the deeply not free countries that spend significant resources trying to repress and censor the internet. And then there are other countries that are, and those countries, of course, are ranked not free. And then there are other countries that are ranked usually partly free, where it's a bit more of an ambiguous relationship with internet freedom and trying to figure out how to operationalize that, how to balance between the freedoms of expression and association with the challenges of national security and privacy. And of course, we see that at times of elections or other political contestation or difficult political events, that there tends to be a implicit reaction to want to clamp down on these freedoms, and so having to balance between those. One of the key points that has come up in our analysis of the Africa region is that internet freedom is inextricably linked with the access to the internet, and there continues to be severe limits to access the internet throughout the African continent. There is increasing access to mobile technologies and some internet connectivity through mobiles, but general developmental challenges in terms of infrastructure and electricity provision themselves hinder people's ability to get online. In some cases, there seem to be some actual proactive attempts by repressive governments to limit development. We've seen this in Azerbaijan. We've seen this in some rural areas in Africa, Ethiopia, where there are not developments made in order to improve internet speed and connectivity, because that would actually enable people to do more sharing, to do more video uploading. But in general, I would say that this is not being done on a proactive basis. We also talked about how the Arab uprisings have really inspired many governments in Africa, both positively and negatively. There was a lot of learning going on. Ethiopia has definitely led the way in terms of repression on the continent, but Zimbabwe, Sudan, Uganda, Rwanda have all looked at what happened in the Arab Spring and chosen to crack down in many cases on domestic protests. Whereas I think that in Kenya and Nigeria, there's more possibility for openness. We've seen Kenya committing to a multi-stakeholder model and making some advances on internet freedom, so that's positive. But still, the challenge of balancing between freedom of expression and limitations on freedom, such as hate speech, continue to pose challenges. And I think that the panel was a really great opportunity to explore not only trends in internet freedom and censorship, what governments are doing, what non-state actors are doing, but also what civil society is and can be doing. And it was a great opportunity, and appreciate the opportunity to be part of this panel.